Look, I believe that the entire goal-setting process of achievement is total bullshit. All right?
Okay.
Like, these people, and they cite these studies from like the 60s and the 50s and say, oh, it takes 21 days to make a habit. First of all, that's bullshit. All right? It takes way longer than that. That's why when you go to the military, they train you for fucking 80 days or 100 days, right? Like, it takes longer to build new habits than 21 days. It just does. So the first step that I would do is worry about building you into the kind of person that can execute day in and day out, regardless of what's going on in your life. That's why Live Hard and 75 Hard is such a great program. Because most people's problem, in fact, 99% of people's problem, isn't that they don't know what to do to get to the goal. It's that they cannot fucking do it when they're not motivated. So they lack the discipline and they lack the grit, they lack the fortitude to execute when conditions aren't perfect, when they don't feel right, when things aren't going their way. They can't execute. And most people during that time stop, or they quit, or they pause. And this is a game of longevity. If you took from where you're 20 to 80, and you said, how many days did I win? Okay, versus someone who quits every time that it gets hard. You're gonna win exponentially more days than they won, which means you're gonna be far more successful. This is legitimately a game of math. How many touchdowns did I score? Did you score 21 points? Well, they scored 100 points, which means you fucking lost, all right? So the first thing I would do is understand what the fuck we're talking about here. We are talking about a goal that is going to take some time. It might take a year, it might take 3 years, it might take 10 years. Most likely it's a lifelong project. That goal to happen as quick as possible means that you have to execute every single day possible to shrink the time frame of where you are now to where you want to be. If you take you and you do that, you'll achieve the goals in a much shorter time. Now get to what that means in a second. But if you take that versus someone else, someone who is not resilient, who doesn't have grit, who quits when things get hard, or takes mental health days, or stops, or fucking makes excuses, that person will never, ever, 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 ever hit their goal. They won't do it, because if you stretched out, like I said, over the course of 60 years from 20 to 80, that person's only executing 5% of the time, where the person who executes when they don't feel like it, which by the way is the majority, most people don't wake up every day and feel like, fuck, I love hard shit. But you can learn to love it because you love the outcome that it produces. So you need to become the person that can execute no matter what the fuck is going on, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how you feel, and build yourself into that person before you even go for the fucking goal. Make that your first goal, okay? Now, to achieve the goal, to raise the percentage of chance that you're going to achieve the goal, which you can raise to 100% if you do what I just said. If you can win day after day after day after day, you can achieve your goal. It's very simple, because if you win 6 days out of the week, and then you win 6 days out of the next week, and then you win 5 days out of the next week, and then you win 7 days out of the fourth week, did you win your month? Yes, you won the month. Most people didn't. If you do that every single month for 12 months straight, did you win the year? Did you execute on more days than you didn't? Yes, exponentially more days. That means you won the year. Now, if you win 5 years in a row, where the fuck do you think you're gonna be? You're gonna be in a great spot. The question becomes, what is the goal and what are the steps to get there? What you need to do is you need to decide where the fuck you're going, which is a whole nother issue. Most people cannot make a decision about what they're trying to do. They think that life is just going to like, oh, we'll see what comes my way, when in reality, you have to go out and create it. So just make a decision. What do you want to be, bro? And don't make your decision based upon what other people tell you, or what school tells you, or what your parents tell you. What the fuck do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? What kind of house you want to live in? What kind of car you want to drive? What kind of friends you want to have? What kind of respect do you want to have in the community? What do you want your life to be like? Take some time, think that through, and pick it. And then say, what's it going to take to get there? And work backwards from that vision that you create into actionable steps on a daily basis. And when you take a goal that's maybe 10 years away, you're going to break that down into what you can guess are the best actions possible for today, which we call critical tasks. This is not a to-do list. This is not do my laundry. This is not brush my teeth. This is a call, an email, a conversation, an action point that moves you 1 centimeter closer to that big outcome that you are imagining, okay? And you start that today. Because if you do it and you do it right, you can't lose. It's impossible. You'll 100%. It's the only way that I think you could 100% guarantee the outcome, and that's the powerless system. So you have to kind of ignore what society tells you about goal. Set a goal. In 21 days, you'll have new habits, and then you just continue those new habits, and the goal will materialize. That's flawed thinking, because those habits that you create, if you just continue doing them, they're not going to get you where you want to go. You have to take productive action, critical task action that are specifically geared towards that goal, right? Like if I want to become an astrophysicist, I've got to get myself enrolled in astrophysicist classes. I've got to read those books. If you just did those habits for 21 days and kept going, yeah, you'd probably become some sort of knowledgeable person on astrophysics, but you're not going to become an astrophysicist because there's other steps that have to be created. You got to enroll in school. You got to fucking meet people. You got to network. You got to go to this seminar. You got to learn this shit. You got to go, and that's a fluid process.
Yeah.
So, like I talked about earlier in the show, you have to go and then figure out the tasks as you go that are going to move you forward. It's not know all the tasks and then go. And if you can execute when other people can't, you will gradually over time create space between you and them, and you're moving towards where you want to go. You'll eventually be there, and they never will. So that would be my advice to you. If you live a passive life where you say, fuck, I don't have any goals and shit just comes to me, you're guaranteed a terrible outcome. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed terrible outcome. But my point is that goal, that little goal process is not good advice, because little goals beget little actions, and little actions create a little life. And so when we talk about what your goals should be, what I'm talking about is what is your ideal outcome? Where are you trying to get? And let's work towards that. And then, we don't build the confidence by achieving the little goals. We build the confidence by going through a program like Live Hard, 75 Hard, which teaches you how to adhere. And once you know how to adhere and you can execute on a daily basis, day in and day out, and day in and day out, and you have these days that are test days where it's hard as fuck, but you still win, your confidence goes up, your self-esteem goes up, your belief goes up. And all the while, you're not achieving little goals because you're not taking little actions. You're actually working towards big goals because you're taking big actions. So that's my gripe with that advice. I think it's terrible advice. And, that's it.